All right, welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Cosmic Desktop Beta and whatever other crazy topics might pop up in the course of an hour. We'll see. Something interesting typically happens around here, I guess. All right, let's see who we've got in the peanut gallery tonight. Terrell was first. Hotly contested by Jason. Welcome, both of you. Chat makes no sense. Hello, Alonzo. Welcome in.
Hey, Josephus! Josephus is in the house. Welcome, Josephus.
All right, well, we ran it. And it has been shared with pretty much everybody at this point. If there are any other creators on here that want that video, hit me up in Signal. I'm happy to share. How close was that church? They're about an hour-ish away from me. Yes, hack the planet. 30 years of hacking the planet. 30 years. So I caught most of Tony's stream while I was at work yesterday. I had it on low volume since I was working the front desk at the library. I did see that you won. Congratulations. TVJ is here. Welcome. Okay, so I did post as a community post about Cosmic getting to their first beta. So what we're going to do here, and I'll show this on the stream, and we'll go to let's put it on 228, I guess. All right, so I have not downloaded the Cosmic Beta ahead of time. So we'll go ahead and do this right now, and we'll get the show on the road. I do have some interesting testing plans for Cosmic Beta. I have a machine downstairs that I put my Intel Arc graphics card in. It's just a low-end graphics card, but it is faster than the built-in graphics on that particular Optiplex. So 2404 beta, that's the one with the Cosmic Beta. Disable secure boot. Okay. Well, let's see. I don't know if I want to download that. I want to copy the link. So the 2204 version of Pop OS and Cosmic would not run on that machine. So I'd been running Ubuntu on it. But now that the Cosmic Beta has materialized, right? My plan is to install the beta on that machine and do testing on real hardware with a real graphics card, like, you know, woo. Should make for an interesting time, right? And I was contacted by a company that has sent me a device for review that it's a Fight Club moment right now, so that's all I can say about it. As in the first rule is that you don't talk about it or show it or release a video about it. All right. I'm just going to call this Cosmic just for the hell of it. So we're going to do... Okay, what... I'm guessing 19 is the one that we just downloaded. 19, yes. Okay. Just want to make sure because the older version was not playing nice with Proxmox. The last I tested it. Linux is fine. Graphic card default. We're going to run the agent. We don't have secure boot on because let's actually switch to UEFI. We'll put it on the same disk. And add EFI disk. That's fine. We're going to leave the TPM off for now. Get that over here. Give it a 50 gig virtual disk. Yeah, I don't know. Give it 8 cores. Bridge 0. And we'll start this after it's created. Get that over there and get to console. Okay. Pop OS. See what happens. Also on Wednesday, ordered GWN 7721. Layer 2 switch from him. Very nice. Yeah. The big thing is it's not so much an NDA, but it's the product hasn't officially been announced yet. So is this still not going to play nice? Okay, so options. So let's go to hardware. Well, let's switch it back to C BIOS and see. And we can remove the EFI disk. Oops. Yes. Net zero. Everything else looks good. Let's try it this way. Is it going to play nice? Well, it's doing something. That's a start. Okay. May not work because secure boot is on by default, but secure boot's only a thing with UEFI. I changed it back to BIOS, so it should work now. We'll see what happens. We can always go back to the drawing board on this one. I'm not opposed. There's many options we can screw around with in Proxmox. So it's all good. So yeah. Maybe. Oh, we got a desktop. Sort of. Keep going. Keep going. All right. So we can power through this, and then we can chat while this is doing its thing. Clean install. Not going to encrypt it since it's a virtual machine. And we'll see how long this takes to install. Does this allow me to add? Does not. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right, so I'll let that do its thing in the background, and then I'll bring myself back on when we get closer to rebooting. So, it's been an interesting few days. Interesting few days. So when I got back to work last week after my little excursion over to Illinois, I spent the first 2.5 hours of my day on Tuesday scrubbing through video footage of an incident that happened after hours at the library, where there were a good number of police officers and state troopers on the premise in our front entry area, which is not locked. It's open 24 hours a day because it's got a book drop out there. Apparently, a fugitive was hiding from Popo and decided that it would be good to crouch down into an area where there's no escape once you're cornered. So, smart guy. But yeah, so I spent 2.5 hours scrubbing through footage, downloading footage off the NVR, and then uploading it to our Google Drive so that my boss would have access to it. And then she met with the Popo and handed over the footage to them. So, since it happened outside of the building proper, her interpretation, my boss's interpretation of the law, I just want something in writing is all. Whether from her or from somebody else. But her interpretation of the law is that since the cameras that we pulled footage for were outside the building or in that front entryway that's unlocked, that we don't have to require a warrant from Popo to hand over the footage. So we'll get this restarting, and I'm going to remove the ISO image. It should prompt me to hit enter or just restart. That's fine. So yeah, anyways, it was interesting. There were 9 human police officers plus a dog on scene. Lots of flashing lights, just to lead this little dude out in handcuffs. You know, never a dull moment, right? Okay, welcome. Screen reader, interface size, additional scale options, magnifier. Fine, that's can all stay default. Wi-Fi, there are no Wi-Fi cards. English is fine. English. Detroit. And Cosmic Dark is good. And sure, top and bottom dock. Floater automatically. Tile windows. Sure. All right. So seems like there was something popping up already about updates. And so my method of choice is just go to terminal. This is the way I've done it for more than 20 years. Full disclosure, I should say that I have been running the Pop OS and Cosmic Beta on my ThinkPad T460 because that thing is still operational. It's built like a tank. Well, it's my second T460, the one that stays by my comfy chair in the living room. Everything has been working pretty doggone good. I did do an in-place upgrade. At some point, I will back up the few files that I've got on that machine, and I will do a fresh install just because it'll be a fresh install. So everything seems to look good. I haven't brought up a list of all the changes yet, but there are a few things that I've noticed. The file manager has received some attention. I was under the impression, and I'm not sure how to enable it, but I was under the impression that they added a column view, sort of like the Mac Finder, but I have not seen where to enable that. So I may have been mistaken. I may have been reading about something else. Sometimes all this news blends together, and you know, the older you get, the harder it is to keep it all straight from each other, right? Comes with Firefox by default, and that's great. Cosmic Store. See how quickly this loads up. There it goes. So manage repositories. You've got FlatHub and you've got Cosmic Flatpak. You could, of course, add others if you so desired. So that's looking good. I do like what they've done with the Cosmic Store. It does load pretty quick once they do that initial buffer at the beginning when you first load it. Many of the other app stores are much slower to update as you move from category to category, right? See if we've got any app updates in here. Nothing. So applets. So there's a clipboard manager, external monitor brightness, a logo menu. Don't really need that. Minimon, sysinfo, system monitor, and weather. So anyway, this is, to me, this is looking pretty darn nice. To each their own. I'm not the biggest tiling window guy, but I do dabble with it from time to time. I like the way they've got this laid out where you can do tiling just by clicking a button, and you don't have to, or you can disable it very easy if you want to use it for a while or for some things, and then switch. So Cosmic File Man, this is the media player, rather. Does not appear to have an about option, which is an interesting choice, I suppose. What else do we have? We've got Cosmic Store and settings we've seen. We've had the terminal up, Cosmic Text Editor. They were supposed to have added some things to this. It's at version 0.1.0. So, yeah. I like the fact that they have adopted, similar to macOS, where you get to settings for a given app with command, comma. Here in Pop OS, it's control, comma, will bring up settings. So I like that nice touch. What else have we got to play with in here? We've got LibreOffice installed. We've got a document scanner, an image viewer, and Thunderbird. So disk usage analyzer, system monitor. We've got printers front and center. And hey, look at that. It actually detected my printer. Previous versions did not do that as quickly. So that's a nice touch. Utilities. So they've got a screenshot utility now. Not sure if that worked or not, but hey, it's all good. Make sure we're connected. We are connected on wired. And that all looks pretty normal. So, hey, if I mean, once I start banging on this on real hardware, not just in a VM, I think it will be pretty solid. I think they've reached the point where it's, less problematic than it has been in the past few releases in a VM. So, I think this is going to be a solid release once they get it to the 1.0 release on Cosmic, and, take Pop OS 2404 out of beta just in time for them to start updating everything to 2604, right? All right, so let's bring myself back up here and Let's see. What did I miss? What did you do this weekend? Well, yesterday I had to work, and so I came home and watched a couple movies and dabbled with a few Proxmox commands for an upcoming video and series of shorts. Made the decision that as of today, I'm done posting videos on PowerShell. So starting tomorrow, which is a couple days earlier than I had originally intended to start, but starting tomorrow, you'll get still 2 shorts. It's going to be Proxmox container commands in the morning and Proxmox VM commands in the afternoon. And that will continue through most of the month of October. And when I've exhausted the Proxmox VM commands for the afternoon, then I will switch over to something else. So to be determined, right? But I did start working on a long form video for the container commands. I'm hoping to have that out Tuesday. And then I can start pointing the container shorts at the long form video, and hopefully that will help pick up a little steam going into October. Yeah, and today I spent half the day in the office doing Proxmox container stuff, getting prepped, recording pieces of video that will go into that long form video, and just doing a trial run on everything so that I can rapid fire go through batch recording. And tomorrow after work I'll be able to sit and batch record half a dozen and get them edited and scheduled and go from there. So not the most productive weekend, but I'm working Saturdays for at least one more weekend before I have another Saturday off. I think this coming Saturday, so a week from yesterday, let's pull up my schedule. So Saturday the 4th, I'm working 9:30 to 4:30, and then the 11th, I'm stuck working again. It's going to be another month where I'm working almost all the Saturdays. So the next Saturday I've got off is the 18th. Yay! I love working Saturdays. When it was 1 a month, I'm on board. When it's 3 in a row, I get a little grumpy. Okay, typed in when you're setting up Eufy. Favorite desktop OS. So I guess that depends on context. My favorite desktop OS is anything that's not Windows. So for media creation, I like my Mac. For everyday stuff, even capturing footage for editing and whatnot, I bounce between, but I keep coming back to Pop OS. Um, that's been kind of a mixed bag with them doing the Cosmic Desktop and it having had some less than stable alpha releases, but they're alpha releases. That's what you expect, right? Um, I get along okay with the newer versions of GNOME. After about 42, it's actually been pretty decent. Versions before that, eh, um, had sort of a love-hate relationship with them. But that was in large part because I started on KDE back when it was known as KDE and not KDE Plasma. And so from version 1.0 to version 3.5 point something, I used KDE. The first couple versions of Plasma were buggy as hell. They've largely worked that out now, but I haven't really gone back. It just feels too much like it's trying to be Windows, with their stupid crazy amount of options, and it's like nobody needs to see all this crap. It just is unnecessary. uh Valiantly hand it over, doesn't matter if inside or out, but if camera on the property also doesn't matter, you could force a warrant or subpoena. Right. Well, so policy is if it's inside the building, they have to have a subpoena. That's just law when it comes to Michigan libraries, because of privacy issues. It'd be different if it was just a retail business. That's public. There's no drawing a blank on the phrase I'm looking for here. Um, there's no expectation of privacy in a retail store, right? Um, right. I get you. I mean, why not hand over the footage though? I could see if others were in it, but it's a taxpayer public place. That is false, Joe. Um, there are privacy laws in place that govern libraries. So if it happens inside the building, they need a subpoena in Michigan. It may be different where you're at, but in Michigan, um, that's that's the that's the law. That's what it comes down to. Pop OS is based on Ubuntu. Right, right. Well, there are specific privacy laws governing libraries, and for legal purposes, if it happens inside the building, um, then they've got to get a warrant or subpoena for the footage. If it happens on an outside camera, then it's fair game. It's not town property. I'm not sure where you're getting these ideas. It's not town property. Hey, Grish, welcome in. That's a fair thing to do on a Sunday night. um, oh, thank you, Terrell. The Proxmox shorts have been doing a lot better than the PowerShell shorts. So that's the reason I'm discontinuing the PowerShell shorts. You know, it's I thought by doing PowerShell 7, which is cross-platform, and specifically showing it on Mac OS, I thought maybe it would give other people a reason to take a look at it. I was wrong. Some of the videos did really well. Others did just garbage views. So I'm just done with them. I'm for PowerShell. I may consider doing a long form PowerShell video, but I'm not going to do any more in shorts. No, they have us on rotation for Saturdays generally. It's just that right now they've got our outreach staff members are going to the farmers market on Saturdays, and so that leaves me stuck working 3 out of 4 Saturdays in a month. So I will be happy when the farmers market is over with and we can get back to regular rotation, so I can at least plan some things on Saturdays. So yeah. I have a question. If I use the backup command in Proxmox to back up to a TrueNAS, then use my desktop to pull it off the shared drive, that I have not tried pulling it to a NAS that way, TrueNAS or otherwise. Theoretically, yes, you could do that. I don't see why not. The only question I would have is if you deleted it off the NAS and then went to add it back, would Proxmox still see that backup? I don't think they use any sort of database for the backups, but I'm not 100% sure on that. My approach has been to use Proxmox backup server, generally speaking, and push everything that way. Or alternatively, if I want a backup that's a little more portable, I will just do a backup with Clonezilla or RescueZilla, and then I can restore it to actual hardware if I wanted to. Basically just a TrueNAS VM. Yeah, I mean that should work. The library owns the property. It's not part of the city. It's not owned by the city in any way. We are independent from the city. If we were still part of the city, which we were up until a year before I joined staff, then it would be a non-issue because city cops would just trump the or at least attempt to trump the privacy laws. And then, they'd have to deal with whether or not it would hold up in court. So anyways, all right, we've been live for 42 minutes. Can you believe that? Yeah, today I spent half my day in the office here. I got some footage recorded. I had to troubleshoot through a few issues that I had, mainly because OBS 32 has changed a couple of things. So I was having a little bit of flakiness with the new version. I think I've got that resolved now. So yeah, things are doing all right, I guess. I did get I ordered a package of they're sold as chargers, but they're USB power supplies, right? So this has two USB Type C and two USB Type A, 3.1 amp. They're labeled as adapter quick charge 3.0. That'll actually focus. But I needed a power supply for my Evercade console because it shipped with a cable, but no power supply. And they had these two for $10. Like, all right, well, won't hurt to have an extra one around. So if only Evercade had saw it to use USB Type C, I wouldn't be having to order extra power supplies, but they are still using the older stuff, so I'm stuck with it. So yeah. We're funded in a variety of ways, through the state, through municipal, through property taxes, and like parking and traffic violations and whatnot. We get a percentage of that, but we are not owned in any way by the city. I am not. Let's see. The Ugreen has sales on their external wall power chargers. Interesting. I've not looked at the Ugreen chargers specifically. I was just looking for something to power the Evercade. And this particular one came up. Ugreen charger. All right, so those are a little more expensive. Those are rated higher, but oops. That's a 3-port. Yeah, I'll have to consider these in the future. They look nice. Probably a little higher quality than the one I bought, but yeah. Anyway. I think it's more than just Michigan that has specific law on library privacy. I believe in most states, U.S. library privacy law. So yes. So yeah, Michigan has a Library Privacy Act. So maybe other states don't. But at least in Michigan, it's a thing. I would hope I would know that since I've been working for a library for 6 years. All right. So what else? What else? Let's see. I guess I'm done with that for the night. Anyway, Cosmic is looking good. I think it'll be a solid release when it comes out. What else? We also have what's the other one? The beta for what is it? Version 18. Distro Watch. Zorin OS 18 has gone into beta. I don't know if that'll be listed here. Yeah, Zorin OS. There we go. Zorin OS has announced the beta for Zorin OS 18. And the other interesting thing that I guess has been causing a bit of commotion is that Zima OS, starting with version 1.5, is going to have a plus version. We can get to release notes. Zima OS hits 1 million downloads. For members who upgrade to this version promptly, this upgrade will automatically upgrade your current device to Zima OS Plus version, allowing you to enjoy richer features in the future. Zima backup app on the dashboard, new apps, GPU option. They fixed some bugs. And so the Zima OS Plus version is a $29 lifetime license. It's my understanding that if you buy a Zima branded device, so a Zima Cube, a Zima Blade, or a Zima board, you get the plus version for free. Now that could change in the future, but that's my understanding at the moment. the free version, you know, you get still get unlimited apps. You get 3 users, which, yeah, and a maximum of 4 discs. Whereas the $29 license gets you to unlimited discs. So I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see if over time they start building more NAS-like capabilities into it to compete with like Synology DSM. But you know, it's one of those things, right? They need to fund their development of the OS, which is fair. I mean, you'd think that they would have enough of a premium on their devices to help subsidize that, but maybe not. Maybe not. So, um, so yeah. They talk about what drivers Zima OS supports, and you're looking at mainstream x86 platforms, most SATA, NVMe, and USB storage controllers, network interface cards, and GPU support from Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. So, you know, I think it's been an interesting project to watch, right? If I become a fugitive, I will come hide out inside a Michigan library. I would not have a problem turning you in if you became a fugitive. Um, hey, David, welcome in. We're a couple minutes behind on Michigan is a one-party consent in recording except in a library. Well, that's, yeah. That sounds about right. Can't get Zima OS to install in a VM. So there was a process. There was a process, and I don't remember which. Not there apparently. Do I still have that loaded, or did I delete the VM? Oh, I do have it still here. Didn't record the login information, but we'll start it back up and see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that could possibly happen, right? So there was a process. I had to look up an article, but they walked you through. I think it was you downloaded their image. It was an actual IMG file, and you added that to a VM instead of creating a VM with a disk. You added the existing disk from them, and there was a little bit of a process you had to go through. It's been a minute. Well, maybe I don't have it booting right now. I knew it'd been a minute since I'd run it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know I had it running at one point in time. It's got to be Eufy. I swear I had this running. Maybe that's probably why. See if that works. Also, no. No bootable option or device was found. Well, yeah, I swear I had it up and running. Apparently, is there enough interest in purchasing such upgrades? I see this as a niche product. Possibly. I don't know. I'm not really looking to spend the $29 on it right now. I think the free version has some nice improvements over Casa OS. But since I'm the only one on my network on a regular basis, I don't have a problem with Casa OS either. Can't turn you in unless I feel threatened. Try making the installer to a USB disk. Like the site said, then I pass the USB stick through to the VM. That's the error I kept getting. Okay. I swear I had it up and running. I swear I had it up and running. I'll have to dive back into that. Oh, it might be this VM. So this one. Aha. So I'm going to delete that one. Goodbye. Okay. Don't have anything recorded there, but version 141. It's on 167. And I don't remember what the login credentials are. Their default login. Default default account password is guest and guest. I will try it. Nope. All right, well. Well, I apparently have locked myself out of it. So I've got it running. I just don't remember what the heck I set the credentials to. Because usually I fill in notes in my VMs to remind myself of what the credentials are. Well, yeah, connection refused. Well, none of my typical credentials are working. No. Well, I guess it runs in a VM. It's been long enough ago that I couldn't tell you how I got it installed there with 100% accuracy. But I know it runs. So hey, it might dawn on me later tonight. Might dawn on me first thing in the morning. So yeah. What else is new? I do not have, since I'm wearing the Hack the Planet shirt, I do not have the any official word on a shipping date on the Wi-Fi Pineapple pager. I saw something on a website, not the Hack 5 website, but I saw something on a website that said that they will be shipping in early October. So my fingers are crossed that I will receive it before I need to do my presentation for Cybersecurity Awareness Month. If it doesn't, I've got a backup plan, but I'm not going to show this on screen, but that's not what I want. So I have been getting a good number of spam email lately. and I think these are hilarious. Um, um, but let's see if I can delete that one. So I get in Gmail, I'll get 3 recurring senders for the sender field. One of them is called payment declined. One of them is called final alert or final notice, and the other one is called cloud alert. The one from cloud alert is not even in English. It appears to be Spanish or Portuguese, maybe. But they're all basically the same, saying that my cloud service payment method has expired and that all my crap will be deleted. Only I don't use any of the mainstream cloud providers other than my Google Drive, which I've been migrating stuff off from and only use it to share a few files with people I collaborate with on a couple of projects. But like the final notice one, subscription payment interrupted. And it doesn't even show any the message is actually not shown, and it says it looks like this message is in Italian. Right. And they're using Microsoft to host their email or their server for their email. Payment declined. It has an icon that looks like iCloud, which I don't use. Your cloud storage may be full. Photos, videos, and Drive are no longer updating. Free storage upgrade available. And a big button that says keep using cloud storage. Yeah. F you too. And the tagline at the bottom claims that it's coming from a company called The Green in Dover, Delaware. And the domain on the email address is a .site domain. Yeah, this is all kinds of spammy, fishy crap. But the reason I'm keeping these around is because I'm doing a Cybersecurity Awareness Month presentation. So I'm going to make screenshots of some of these and pass them around with some things highlighted and discuss them in detail and tell people what you need to be looking for. So yeah, I can't believe that people are still falling for this crap. But the thing I like is the one that says final notice, received on September 10th, received on September 19th. And that's just the ones that I haven't deleted yet. So yeah, I mean, generally the people that show up to my programs are older than me. So, you know, having a nice friendly discussion and actually pointing out things that they can look for and that they should verify that this stuff ends up in their spam and not in their inbox is not a bad thing. You know, I typically find that the people younger than me tend to have a slightly better grasp than the ones older than me. Again, generalization. There are idiots out there in every generation. And, you know, it's a competition between humanity and the universe. And humanity always seems to build a bigger, better idiot. So, anyways, we are at an hour and 13 minutes, almost 14 minutes. I get all of those. Everyone does. It gets through the Gmail filtering crazy. Most of mine end up in spam automatically. I think at the beginning I was tagging them as spam, but all but a couple that I mentioned have automatically gone to spam. Haven't gotten that one. You're lucky. All right. Well, I think this is as good a place as any to wrap things up for the night. Didn't even realize that was plugged in. Yeah. With the crazy schedule I have next weekend, I may or may not do a member stream on Friday night. The public streams, I'm probably going to put off for a minute. Probably not do one next weekend. It'll all depend on how crazy it gets at the library and if I need a mental break or not. I was happy that when I did my program on Friday about scanning old photos and things, I actually had 3 people sign up. Well, I had 4 people sign up. I had 3 people show up. The first person that signed up was in Cambodia, of all places. I don't know why she signed up, but apparently she's a library manager at some university right in the capital of Cambodia. So more power on her for trying to expand her knowledge base, I guess. But being a librarian at a university, I'm not sure she would really need what I'm offering as far as programs at the library, but whatever. All right. I get the ones we could not deliver your package. Yeah, I've seen some of those as well. Have a good night, Terrell. Hour and 17 minutes. I'm good, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. And there will be an announcement when the next one will be happening. Stay safe.